we have the Fluval Aquascaping contest. Oh, I would love to be in front of one of those tanks right now. I'm super jelly of the people that get to build them, but someday. Because I like to do everything just a little bit backwards, I'm going to go ahead and start over here doing the Fluval Aquascaping Live contest tanks. It looks like we've got some Sirius stone and a forest theme. Definitely some beautiful crypts in the front. Not sure if this is a Monte Carlo in the back. I need to get better with my plans, but overall this is a very beautiful design. I like the almost simplicity of it, and I do really like the way that it has made a cavern in the middle here. No fish. So this is tank number 12. And if we pop back over to the tank number 11, tank number 10 is getting a refill. Beautiful job. Next we have tank number 9. It's a nice choice of wood and rocks. Very simple. Honestly, I would have preferred if I had seen a little bit less of the under gravel coming through here. The middle is a bit messy for me. And that's just because I'm being overly critical thinking. But it is an overall beautiful tank. And I just would have liked for the bottom to have been a little bit better. Is this your tank? You want to tell me why you like what you did with your tank?
Yeah, I would love to.
Let me squish this guy around so you can hear.
All right. With this tank, I kind of didn't really have a great idea when I got here. I was just gonna like see what we got and wing it. So I actually ended up doing a lot in like the first hour and had to restart because I was like, it's just not vibing. And then I kind of got this really big piece here, and I set it like that, and I was like, that's the tank right there, that piece. And then the other thing I really wanted to do is I wanted to have a tree that had distinctly looking like it had fallen on this side, and a tree that looks more like it's growing on this side. Yeah.
Very nice. Did you just pick the plants because you like them, or did you come into it thinking that you wanted certain plants?
I'm a fiend for some Java ferns. I'll always use Java ferns. And I was surprised but happy when I found the Anubias caufifolia here. That's probably my favorite type of Anubias. So yeah, I didn't want to go too crazy with stems or anything because I've got a really like sweeping motion, and I feel like the vertical lines would have contrasted in not a way that I would have really liked. But I tried using some swords in the back, and then just some detail, hair grass, moss, and aquarium lilies at the front. Yeah.
You did a really great job with adding some dimension by bringing it up in the back.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I like the different little bits, the way you have your levels here too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always try to do that where I kind of have different substrate levels. It helps give it a little bit of depth. I have different things kind of crossing in front of other things too. Helps create more depth in the tank. Yeah.
So, do you have your own channel, Jacob?
I don't. I have an Instagram though. If you want to follow me at jacobsmiley.22 on Instagram, that's
awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So that was Jacob, and that was tank number 8. Now we are at tank number 7. I was looking yesterday. I liked the way they broke up the dragon stone to give a little bit of a change against the elephant stone.
Yes.
I I wouldn't think to do that normally, but it makes it where it goes with the sand so well.
Yeah, this is actually my...
No, I just kept looking at that last night and I was like, oh my gosh, I love the broken dragon stone in there.
Yeah, that was something...
So very nice, thank you. This is the back side of the tank that I'm going to be showing next. And then this side. My concern with this tank going forward, and for whoever wins it in the auction, is that you have quite a few pockets here that are just pockets. I think that you would want to probably put in some filter foam, only because those open pockets are just areas that detritus can sort of land and stay. If you were to do the filter foam in there, I think this is absolutely a stunning tank. It's one of my favorites. So I am really curious to see how it does in the overall contest. This is tank number 6. One of the things that's really amazing about this tank to me, and I'm going to go ahead and go up top, show it from the top here, is if you're looking down from the top, you can see that there's several paths. Little bit of greenery just to add in there, the little paths coming down. Tank number 5, we have a lot of red rock. This artist actually, they chose to paint the background and they've given us some little pink clouds, which is an interesting touch, but when you sort of step back, that little bit just really draws the whole thing together, and it shows the way that the roots can come out of the bottom of the rock. The next tank that we have is tank number 4. Tank number 4 did a really great job of using the coarse gravel, the black coarse gravel, and the way that they used that to make the hills. I definitely like the look of that. So the only things that I'm not really in love as much with this tank is that the contrast between the two different, the black and the red tone, that is just it's a little bit too contrasting to me. I think it's just because my eye looks at it, and while it's very pretty, I know that in nature we would have a little bit more mixing because that's such a small gravel coming down here. I love the technique that they used of how to get the gravel to stay up. I'm not sure if they just did it as gluing or if it's glued on a rock, or they just put the glue on the top when they first poured it in. But I do think that that's a technique that I will probably look forward to using in the future. As far as for the actual tank itself and the full build, I love the way that they have done the stacking of the rocks and making the paths. I also like the moss and trees on the top and the way that they have that coming out. It's very, very nicely done. This is tank number 3. It looks like they used some grapevines or mopani. Very much appreciate the height of this tank. I love the way that they've stacked up the Sirius stone. This hair grass is going to grow in just beautifully when it starts to come across. I think that's going to be a really nice detail. And we have just a few stems in here. Tank number 2, they chose to use the light substrate, and actually I really like this one. It's very clean. We have an island formation using, again, the Sirius stone and driftwood. This is another beautiful tank. I really do like it. This tank is number 1. While I can appreciate a lot of the angles that he's used for the rocks, I actually like a lot of the angles for the rocks. I really like the way that this one is curved over, and I like that this one is curved. This rock here is curved under, sort of providing a ledge. The only part that is a little bit offensive to my eye is that we have all of these roots that are just coming from nowhere. Now, I'm sure that once some of these plants have grown in a little bit, it will make more sense. But right now, to my eye, I'm having a hard time figuring out where exactly are these roots coming from. Here we have just roots, or just, where's the tree? What's making the roots? Beautiful layout, beautiful design, and I really feel that if they had left the roots out, or maybe made them just a little bit different. Can't quite place it. So that is tank number 1. Now you are able to bid on the tanks. You have to start a minimum bid of $250. And it looks like there are 2 tanks that have bids on them. One of them is the number 4 tank. And then that favorite of mine, the number 6. I do believe that number 6 is my favorite of the tanks in here today. So we're back to tank number 6, and it is the first place champion with best use of hardscape material. Yay! Second place, most inspirational, most creative. Best use of color. I really like this one too. Number 3. 6th place. Number 2. 3rd place. Congratulations on 4th. I told you it was good.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Love the structure on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best use of plants. Nice. The best use of plants. Yeah, I really like it. I like it a lot.
This one's mine.
Tell me your thought process.
So my thought process on this was kind of a forest theme with kind of like a dry riverbed kind of situation. You know, so the texture of this wood was very indicative of cypress, and I've always wanted to do a forest scape like this. You know, if you like stand back, it's kind of a landscape, but when you get close to it, there's smaller moments. So the large tree in the front with the rock and the micro sword here is a moment. Right behind it with kind of the root creating kind of a natural retaining wall, you have a moment there. Over here has like a micro foreground as well. So, you know, it really has a lot of visual interest kind of all over the place. Moments, but take a step back, it's all very cohesive in creating that depth as, as a landscape. So
Yeah, no,
that was my goal.
I very much appreciate it. Awesome. Do you have a channel?
I do. I have a YouTube channel and an Instagram. You can find me at TS Aquatics, and that's on Instagram and YouTube. That's T.S.Aquatics.
Awesome.
So.